What is going on, guys? I am September here, George, the coach of your San Francisco Arcaniners, here to bring you my Season 6 Week number 10 team builder against the New York Metapods, or aDrive, the coach that beat us in the championship last season. So we're going to try to come up with a big win to make us feel better after our loss, I guess you could say. But without further ado, let me get right on into his team. So his team is the Mega Altaria, the Rotom W, the Skuntank Chansey, the Galvantula, the Blastoise, the Flygon, the Metacham, the Gourgeist, and the Victini. Now, immediately, he's coming off of a big loss last week? It might have been 2 weeks ago, against Chimpact, where he got set up on Chansey. Now, I have a Manaphy on my team, which would set up on Chansey phenomenally. So what I actually believe he's not going to bring is Chansey. I think he's going to bring the Mega Altaria, the Rotom, Metacham, and Galvantula, and then it's kind of and Victini, and then it's in between the Flygon, the Blastoise, and the Ferrothorn, in my opinion. With that, he can defog, he can spin. He could bring the Skuntank, I guess, but I don't have Latias anymore. I don't know if he'd want to bring that. But anyways, that is his team, so let me get right on into my team. So the first Pokemon I decided to bring is Manaphy because I destroy his team with Manaphy. I have the Tail Glow, the Ice Beam, the Energy Ball, and the Scald with the Timid Nature Max Speed. This is so that if he is a Jolly Max Speed Victini, in case he wants to try to speed tie my Manaphy, I'm going to try to speed tie him, and we're going to see how that exactly works. Also with the Flygon, if he's not max speed Jolly Natured on the Flygon, I just kill with Ice Beam. Now, I was debating early on if I should run a Dazzling Gleam over Ice Beam, because while Dazzling Gleam also hits Mega Altaria and the Flygon for super effective, just like Ice Beam does, it also hits the Metacham for super effective damage. And I was thinking about it, and then about 10 minutes before the match, I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch Dazzling Gleam off, and I'm going to run Ice Beam. And you guys will see how that worked out for me, because if he doesn't bring the Metacham, then I need Ice Beam. If he does bring the Metacham, then I better hope I have a Tail Glow up so I can OHKO with Scald. Next up, I have Big Bro here, the Snorlax, with the leftovers, just the thick fat, the Fire Punch, the Pursuit, the Facade, and the Gunk Shot with a max attack, max defensive nature. The Fire Punch is obviously for the Ferrothorn. The Pursuit is obviously for the Victini. The Facade is for the Rotom W if it wants to try to burn me, and the Gunk Shot is for the Mega Altaria. So that is pretty much that Pokemon, very simple. If it comes down to it, this thing can switch into Scalds. Hold on. There we go. Just because I have the Facade, I can switch into Scalds. I do about half to a Rotom using Facade, so that's pretty good, I think. And yeah, so after that, I got Tarzan right here, the Life Orb, Infernape. Alright guys, I just got rudely interrupted by my mom, but it's fine. Where was I? I was talking about the Infernape sets. So I am running the Life Orb with the max attack, max speed, Jolly Nature, Jolly, max speed, because a lot of Pokemon on his team have the same speed as mine, so I kind of have to run max speed, and the Pokemon that has the same speed on his team versus me is Galvantula, which I want to be outspeeding Galvantula with my Infernape because I can OHKO it with the Flare Blitz, and he can't do much about that. So got the close combat for the Chansey and the Ferrothorn, so I don't have to go if for the Flare Blitz on the Ferrothorn if it comes down to it. Also, I did Calx with Grass Knot and also Thunder Punch with the Iron Fist ability on this thing, and close combat does as much as both of them to the Rotom. It does more to the Rotom than either of them, and it does half to Blastoise pretty much. So I am fine with that. I do have to Rotom Wash with close combat and like maybe 40% to a defensive Blastoise. So close combat's being run. I have the Gunk Shot. The only reason I have Gunk Shot is for the Mega Altaria. I have a 65% chance to OHKO a Mega Altaria from full. 65% chance with the Gunk Shot and the Life Orb. So hoping that works out for me. And then the last move, of course, I have the Flare Blitz just for coverage. The last move is Earthquake. Now, I was debating between 3 moves, I believe, as this last move. It was Earthquake, Mach Punch, and the last one's escaping me. I completely forget. And also the Fake Out, I think. I was thinking of Fake Out as well. Unless there's a move I just see down here that I was going to run. Wasn't doing U-turn. I think it was Mach Punch, Fake Out, or Earthquake. And I decided on Earthquake because the Victini wanted to have a move that could hit for super effective damage that could possibly OHKO it if it's not Choice Scarf. While Choice Scarf Victini works well versus my team, Sticky Web Victini works even better versus my team. So I have to be wary of that. And yeah, so that is that set. Next up, I have Spoop right here. Mr. Spoop, Icy Wind, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, and Pursuit with the leftovers and the Infiltrator ability, max HP, max defense. Okay, so if it comes down to it, and he goes into Mega Altaria against my Spiritomb, and I decide, you know what, I could get swept if he goes +1, and he could also go for a substitute, and I was just like, you know what, I am going to run Icy Wind with Infiltrator on this thing. Because if he's a sub-DD Mega Altaria, I just lose the game right there. Because I have to run this Pokemon to deal with the Medicham. It is the only thing on my team that deals with the Medicham. That's it. It's the only thing. I have the Pursuits so that I can Pursuit Trap the Victini. He's not going to want to stay in after it goes for V-Create once because he's not banded, he can't OHKO me. And then he's going to have to deal with a Sucker Punch, so I think Pursuit's a great play. Having this, I also have the Will-O-Wisp to burn things like the Gourgeist, Medicham, Flagon, that type of stuff. And then the Pain Split for recovery. Next up, we have Pookie right here, the Mamoswine. And we got the Life Orb on this thing with the Thick Fat. Earthquake, Ice Shard, the Icicle Spear, and the Superpower. So the reason I have Icicle Spear is because what's the point of me having the Icy Wind that will hit through the substitute and still hit the Pokemon if I don't have a Pokemon that can possibly outspeed and break the sub while also killing it. So that's why I have Icicle Spear. Also, if he has a Yachi Berry on anything, it will only get affected for the first one it hits, and then all the others will hit as well. So I just have Jolly Max Speed because Mega Altaria is base 80, and if he wants to be Jolly Max Speed, which I think he is going to be, this is the only way I can deal with it. So next up, the last Pokemon I have is Mega Pikachu. Mega Beedrill right here. I don't bring Mega Beedrill that often, so kind of interesting that I am bringing this match. I have the Protect, the U-Turn, the Poison Jab, and the Defog. Now, the reason I have Defog, very important that I have Defog this match, or Spin, or something. It is mainly for the Galvantula, because I am so afraid of that Sticky Web. If it gets up, Medicham, Altaria, and Victini will destroy my team if he gets up that Sticky Web. I do not have any doubt in my mind that I will lose the game if he gets up webs, for sure. Normally, I prefer to run my Beedrill's Adamant. However, if I run Jolly Max Speed, I can outspeed a bulky Rotom Wash after Sticky Web. He also then has to be Max Speed Altaria to outspeed me after +1. So if he's not Max Speed Altaria, I can outspeed him. And yeah, it's just the better thing to have in general. Only because if I'm at -1, I can still outspeed some things that I need to defog on, especially the Rotom. I've done some test battles, and against the Rotom, I have been able to defog against it 100% of the time, because every single time I play someone in a test battle, they bring Sticky Web, and that scares me. I'm so scared of the Sticky Web. Other than that, this Pokemon can really U-turn around his team. His really only way of stopping it is the Ferrothorn and just having the Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet. Ferrothorn is a met Pokemon in this matchup because I do have a lot of things that can take it on. If I ran an HP Fire on the Manaphy, I'd be able to take it out after a Tail Glow. Also have the Fire Punch and the Flare Blitz and the Superpower on my Mamoswine, and I can burn it with Spiritomb. So don't know if he'll bring that. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the team. So if you did enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate if you did comment, like, rate, or subscribe. I will be getting up the battle later today, so I do apologize about the late upload. But I'm sorry, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.